how will the Giants use Saquon Barkley, at least early on or right off the bat?
Well, the Giants are going to get their money's worth. And when I'm talking about money, I'm talking about the draft capital that they invested in Saquon. They're going to get him a lot of touches, 20 to 25 touches per game. I think that's where they start in hopes that he can be productive, one of those satellite type of players where you can move him around in different positions, get him on one-on-one situations in space, make defenders miss, and pick up yards that way. I think they want to have a ground game for Eli Manning while he's in the twilight of his career. They drafted a running back second overall because they think that they're going to be able to compete for a championship. Now, while I believe that Saquon will be one of those running backs that's 1,500-plus yards from scrimmage and 10-plus touchdowns, I don't know if that's necessarily going to translate into the Giants being a playoff team and competing for a championship.
Oh, okay.
I just don't see it that way, especially when you look at some of the deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball. The expectations are there right now because you drafted a running back with the second overall pick that you're trying to go for it. You're trying to compete for a championship. I just don't know that that's possible. And then one thing that Saquon said at the end of that soundbite, he said, I'm not going to be a running back that you just put in the backfield and line up and bang his head against the wall. I do believe that in this league, you need a running back that understands the value of a 4-yard run. You can't just outrun everybody. You can't bounce every run to the perimeter and expect to be able to have the speed to get out there. So that's one thing that I'm a little bit concerned with, having that kind of mindset at the running back position.
But was he saying I won't do that or I won't just do that? Well, because there's a difference there, right?
There is a difference there, but you do need physicality at that position because you're not going to be able to outrun guys. If you want to have a real running game, the production is going to have to be one where it's, okay, we're consistently going 2 or 3 yards, and then you're going to be able to pop a big one. But you can't run outside on the perimeter all the time.
Chris Canty is right. If there is one criticism of Barkley in his college career, you can talk about, well, was he dominant? That's not necessarily a criticism, but can he stick to running between the tackles and grinding out a game? November, December. It's chilly outside. You have a lead. You need a running back. And at Penn State, that was not something that he did. You could see that even on inside run, he had a tendency like a high school or a little league running back that he would try to bounce it outside to try to make the big play compared to making the good football play, and sometimes a good football play is a 3 to 5 yard gain.
Well, and I mean, what you're describing is exactly what these highlights are. There are very few, and listen, Barkley was a magnificent collegiate player, but very few of his highlights are him being handed the ball, running up the middle. This play right here is the one that we keep showing, because most of them he's bouncing outside, right? Where the big plays for him are catching the football or bouncing outside. I think that what Gettleman's talking about, though, and what I think most of us expect to see from him, is going to. You don't spend the number 2 overall pick on a running back if you don't think he's going to make your offensive line look better than it actually is. This type of running back, if you don't think he's going to help your passing game dramatically, either via screens or just because you have so much focus on him that your wide receivers are in man-to-man more often. Dave Gettleman said before we knew they were taking Barkley, you take a player at number 2, he's got to be a Hall of Fame caliber player. They then did something that a lot of us thought they shouldn't. They didn't take a quarterback. They didn't trade down for more draft capital. They took the most talented, just wow player available. Those expectations are real, and they should be there on him.
Well, let me say this, Nick, and you brought up his contribution in the passing game, and I'm not going to take anything away from Saquon Barkley as a receiver. I think he's a tremendously talented football player. But from the running back position, the contribution I need from you in the passing game is being able to have this blitz pickup. I need you to be good in protection. That's one of the things that's going to be asked upon. If he's going to be an every down running back for the Giants. Eli Manning is not a mobile quarterback. You saw one of the big criticisms from Ben McAdoo was only having 5-man protections and not allowing Eli the opportunity to win from the pocket last year. That's why he led the league in pass attempts with less than 2.5 seconds in the pocket. You got to have a running back that can pass protect first and foremost. Then we'll worry about his contributions in the passing game. But the thing is, he's got to be able to be that consistent runner. To CeCe's point, focus on trying to get the base hits, not necessarily trying to hit a home run every single time.
And stop working on your second contract on your first mini camp, because that's what him and his agent are doing. There's a reason why. L. Bell. Oh, I'm more than a wide receiver. Seemed like the rookie from Penn State picked up on that. Him and his agent, they're already starting to market themselves with the 2 best running backs. Ezekiel Elliott, who will be up for a contract in 2 years, and L. Bell, who's struggling to get a new long-term contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's saying the same thing. I'm more than a running back. I'm utilized more. I'm outside the backfield. So I understand that. But what I'm concerned about is, another way I see the Giants utilize him is let's not forget they're going to change the kickoff rules. The momentum that the defender's running down, they're not going to be able to create that 5-yard head start they had before. So I sat 10 yards behind him in the back of the Ohio State end zone, and he took the opening kickoff to the house against a lot of NFL players running down there. So one way the Giants can use him, besides what Gettleman is talking about, is as a kick returner. Man, in the new NFL with this new kick rule, he's an instant weapon in that aspect of the game.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.